A little while ago I made a video about vintage G-SHOCKs that included the very early ones from my collection, like the DW5000C. I received an interesting comment in that video from a subscriber who said they have a Citizen that's based on the first G-SHOCK. So from here I'd like to say a huge thank you to subscriber and friend David Snell from South Africa for the inspiration for the making of this video. So please check out his Instagram and give him some support as a thank you, as it's free. Cheers. So in the 80s, G-SHOCK is released showing us the DW5000C, but Citizen has their DQ7511, known as the P130. That's also released in the 80s. So did G-SHOCK copy Citizen? Well, you'll be glad that Citizen was released in 1985, while G-SHOCK was in 1983. Phew. The Citizen wasn't a shabby watch with a 300-meter water resistance and a larger display with many more functions. All metal case like the early G-SHOCKs, wasn't cutting corners either, but was actually adding more details. These Citizen aftershocks weren't around for long and soon vanished, which does make them collectible because of their rarity. I guess a kung fu slap from G-SHOCK was the reason. So where am I going now with this? Well, me and Dave had some interesting conversations about the general appearance of early G-SHOCKs and discovered that there are blatant replicas. But what we found was early shocking shocks that are close from a distance but far away enough that actually has no impact on G-SHOCKs needing more kung fu strikes. So in front of me I've found some naughty G's and let's take a closer look. First pick is the Jasa, or the Jazza, Giza, Yase. Anyway, it's made in the 80s and they've actually called it a G-SHOCK with a K at the end and has cheekily added the shock resist logo. It has 330 meters of water resist because it's written at the top, has 4 button options, but only 2 have actual buttons, while there is a hidden button between. Sealed resin caseback, so entry is only from the front. So no dirty shenanigans here, you rude shockers. The crystal is painted on clear acrylic. Yeah. The module is simple with a backlight from a miner's lamp, static time, followed by date, month, then by seconds. Strap was my idea, just to give it more toughness. Next is the avia-tec, which actually has a model number 17C101. This is a high impact lithium alarm chronograph that's from a time and place nobody has the answer to. I've researched all corners of the web and can't pinpoint when this was released, even though I bought a new one, so decided to read the back case instead. This has 555 ATMs of water resistance, with some tiny holes that could be for drainage. Rubberized bezel over a resin case with its shoes made from black plastic resin silicone type material that ends with a black buckle that's probably made of coal. Features time with seconds, date, month, and a start watch stop. The backlight button is missing, and so is the adjustment button for that matter. It has an alarm somewhere too, but instead of shock resist, they've used high impact in the cheeky zone. Forget about Mr. Rangeman, this is Mr. Aqua, with 3 ATMs of water resistance. This can take on any washing up splashed onto it, including the bubbles. Deep display shows time with second counter, day of the week, date, month, stop and go watch mode, and an alarm that can be turned on or off, and has water resist, now in that forbidden place. This is Mr. Aqua. That's the end of the video, but if you want a geek tour tutorial, then please wait, no time at all. So what's the story with this one? Well, this Jasa, well that's how I'm going to call it, is dated from the 80s. Now it is very sort of basic, and I'm not sure if it's actually a G-SHOCK resistant watch because of the acrylic plastic on the top there. it is sort of a bit flimsy and it is very light indeed. So I've had to put a bit of stainless steel on there so it doesn't get blown away. Now the colours look like it's actually been hand painted, and it is very smudgy indeed, and I'm not sure if that is a W or a VV, but I'm going to go with W because it likes to state that it is washing up proof, I would say. And you've got some font here missing on the days of the week, so when you press the date here, it does absolutely nothing at all. It just shows the date and the month. If you press again, you have the counting seconds, and this will just remain like so forever until you push the button back again. You do have some animation here in the middle, which is very kind of them. There's 4 Phillips screws on the front here, which is holding in the acrylic crystal, and this is your only way of actually getting into the module because the back case really is sealed. It's odd that it has set and adjust, and it's using 2 fake buttons, so maybe there was a more advanced series from this one, so you did have 4 buttons, whereas on this side in between you do have this little secret pusher here, and this is all about the adjustment. So let's go through a massive hour-long tutorial on this one and show you how to adjust it by pushing this little pusher here with my toothpick. So let's have a look. So there's a month and date, and there's the month I can adjust, and it's using the button up here, the date button. The light button does nothing but the light, of course, and then I can change it. There is the day of the week, the date, then we have the hour. So let's just sort of have a little play around here. So that's at 2 p.m. at the moment, and it's just a nice simple push, and with a long press it goes very quick, super quick. Look how fast that is, incredible. So I believe it is 2 p.m. in the afternoon, so push that again. Of course we get the minutes to play around with, and back to the home screen. Now that is all you get on this watch. It's incredible, really incredible. Now, do I need to go through that again? I don't think so. It was quite painful, really. So this little cheeky number has got shock resist at the top here. So is it trying to copy the original? What do you think? I think they've done a really bad job of it. But I have to say it's very, very unique, and because it's vintage and dated from the 80s, could this become more in value than it was back in the day? Now, I'm not sure the actual exact year, but I'm guessing it's got to be mid-80s, hasn't it? I mean, in fact, it could have been released when this came out on April in 1983. I think on the same day in the afternoon this was released. It just looks so rushed and bodgy. But anyway, no, there is a massive difference. I mean, if I drop that, that's still going to be working, whereas this, yeah, it sort of survived that, I guess. All right, okay, you've got a little bit of K-SHOCK in you, or G-SHOCK. I don't know what the K stands for. Is it knockoff? And now for the naughty twins, and I thought I would do the tutorial with the brand new one. Yes, they're still available brand new, but the thing is, you don't see them that often. And when was this actually released? And I've found some suppliers, but they haven't got a clue. One said that it's possibly made by Fossil. Anyway, I think this is trying to replicate another G-SHOCK. Where are you? So I think it's replicating the DW5700 here, with the round bezel, and even around the display here. It has the square, and then it has this sort of design here. Look, completely copying it. And if I turned it upside down, you even have this iconic little logo here, both the same, even has the little red on there. And you notice that the other two have this similar as well. So looking on this side, it even has these ridges on the side here next to the buttons. It really is a sort of attempt, isn't it? So what are you trying to do here? I mean, come on. Mind you, these are sort of really not easy to find, and I have to say that the bezel on here isn't original. So good luck trying to find a bezel that hasn't turned to dust. So let's have a little tutorial on this avia-tec. So starting off in the home screen, we have the obvious with the time and the counting seconds. It's showing the days of the week with a tiny little black marker, which is perfect because it is Wednesday. Now by pressing the start stop, I must say it does only have 3 buttons. The cheeky adjust button there has been removed. So by pressing that and just holding it down will show you the date and the month. At the moment it's showing that it's the 2nd month and the date is the 5th. And then it has the icon that remains at the top here, but the days of the week disappear, which is kind of odd. But let me show you a little quirk this has that not every G-SHOCK has. So if I press that start button again and have the date, if I press the advance button here, I actually get a little tone, and now the date and the month have been swapped over. So that is how we read it in England. We are the 5th of February. And I know for those who are in America, you like to say February the 5th. Well, here in Europe, we like it the other way around. So why they do that, I have no idea. Maybe the market is bigger in America, so I can understand that. But that's a really cool feature to have. Anyway, moving on, we'll go to this button here, the advance button. By pressing that, it's showing the alarm. So that is the state of the alarm. And yes, it's in 24 hours. And that's all you get to have on that side. Now, moving on to the mode. By pressing the mode button, it has the stopwatch. So here, very easy, start stop with a little chirp. And yes, it does have, with pressing the advance, it does have lap. Now it has some icons up here which are sort of flashing away. So at the moment you can see there's 3 flashing. If I press stop, these 3 flash, and yeah, anyway, it's a bit confusing. So yes, it has the lap. So there's a first lap, there's a second lap, and pressing again resets it. And then pressing mode, it's back to the home screen or home time. So when I go through the mode, it is alarm, not alarm, stopwatch. Sorry, I got confused. And back to time. Now you can understand how I got confused there. Stopwatch, time. Now where is the alarm? How do you adjust the alarm? So what I did, I pressed the alarm button and I thought maybe I've got to press up here. So when I pressed that, I had a little icon that appeared here, and this is for your hourly signal. So if I was to repeat that with the same press, now I have another symbol. So this is for the alarm, and then by pressing them again it removes them. So you can do all that from the home screen, but I'm still not able to adjust the alarm. So how was it possible? Well, Mr. Rangeman does like to sort of play around, and he likes a challenge. So pressing the mode button with a long press takes you straight to the alarm, which is very cool. So you can advance here, which is kind of cool, which is nice and easy. Long press down and it advances quickly, and then the start stop just shifts it over to the minutes, like so. Nice and easy, yeah? And when you start the adjustment in the alarm, it turns on the alarm automatically. So once you have it all set, you just press the mode and it's straight back into the home time. Now if I press the advance now, you can see the time that I've put in there or messed up like so. And then if I press that, I can now do the double button and turn that off. So I know how to adjust the alarm, but how do I actually adjust the time and date? Well, with some playing around, I've worked it out. So pressing the mode with a long press, it takes you to the flashing adjustment on the alarm. Now if I press the mode button again, I'm actually in the time and date adjustment, and you're kicking off with the seconds. Now we're using these two buttons here, so start will be select and advance will be advance. And in this case with the flashing seconds, if I press advance, that would zero it off. And like all G-SHOCKs and mostly all Casios, when it gets over 30 seconds, by resetting it to 00 will advance the minutes. I'll just sort of point that out, just in case you actually buy one of these. So by pressing the start here, we can select. So I've got the minutes there, and then you go to the hours. And note that even though it's in 24 hours, you still have the PM icon there. And if I was to advance that, you would actually see it skip over to the, so when it gets right to the end, 23, see, it goes to the A, which is very unusual. So if you hold your finger down, you can advance quickly. So I think we're on there. Anyway, so moving on, pressing the start, it's the next one. Now I'm to the month, February, because I've swapped this over. By pressing that, I'm now on the day of the week, which is the 5th, and then you have the day of the week. Sorry, that's the date, that's the day of the week. But the actual days have gone, so it's a bit of a gamble to sort of find that, but you can sort of find out that starts from Sunday. I don't know why it's not from Monday. I always like to start the week on Monday. Anyway, back to the flying seconds, and then it's just by pressing mode button, it's back to the normal home time. So how do you adjust the AM and PM? Well, with some more playing around, I had to just play around because there's no instructions for this. You press the advance there, it shows you the alarm, and then pressing the mode button once, you can change the time to AM and PM, and there it is at 3:21. Let's do that again, go back, and then it's showing 15:21. And once you've adjusted it, when you go back in to set the alarm, it will automatically have it to AM and PM, whatever you're choosing. And just to show you that by swapping between AM and 24-hour, when I have it in AM and PM mode, it actually does come up with PM and also comes up with AM. And lastly is the alarm test. And instead of sort of setting the alarm, I can actually do it from home screen. So when you press the advance, you have the alarm sort of shown like this. Now if I press the start and hold it down, I get the tone like that. So every time you press it for a longer press, and that is actually quite a loud alarm. Compared to the JASA, this is in a different league. I mean, it's still cheap compared to a G-SHOCK, but the overall build and how you sort of use the functions and the button pressing is all very sort of good quality. I can't really say I can knock this watch. I do like how you can swap the month. That is very easy indeed. So Casio, if you're listening, look how easy that is just to swap the date and the month over, and swapping back. I even get a little chirp as well. Look at that. That was very easy. And I do like the long press on the mode to enter the adjustments. Now this is so that you don't accidentally knock the adjustment and end up changing the time, as on the vintage G-SHOCKs. It's very quick press and you're already into adjusting the seconds. Anyway, let's kick on with the next one. Now I only went for this one because it has this icon here, which is the G-SHOCK icon for shock resistant, whereas this one actually does have water resist. So you are very, very cheeky, Mr. Aqua. So let's have a little tour around this very quickly. First off is the crystal, This to me is like plastic. It's not really acrylic. And then the actual case and the back case of this, or sort of like the where the lugs are, this is all a 2-part mold, and it does have a stainless steel back sort of case there, held in with 4 screws. I haven't opened it. I probably won't ever open it. And you got some 4 sticking out buttons, which has this sort of mold around there. There's a little bit of a design there, something a bit Star Trek-y maybe. And then onto the bracelet, which is very interesting because this is all cast, and I have no idea what the material is on that, but the actual end link here, that's all resin or plastic, and then you have these little plastic inserts in between the links. There is a fold over clasp. This is probably about the decent thing on this bracelet, and it is written with stainless steel on there. So I'm just going to have to believe that's what it is. And that's it basically. There isn't really much more I can get excited about. Now, let's go through the module and show you what it can do. Now, this isn't going to be easy to do a tutorial on because the actual LCD display is about 3 meters deep into the watch, but I will try my best and sort of angle it so you can actually see the top part here and where it is the day of the week, Wednesday. When I have it in this position, you can see it casts a shadow because it's so deep. And first off is the backlight. Yeah. It's a flickering miner's candle again, and yeah, there's nothing really too exciting, and it's throwing the focus off. Right, let's see what's inside the modes. So from home time, pressing the mode button once, we have the stopwatch. And again, it's doing this flashing thing at the top where Sunday and Saturday are flashing. What is that about? I have no idea. Anyway, nice and simple. It's start up here. And I guess that's going to be stop as well. There we go. So once we start that, see if we can take a nice lap time. It did a double chirp. Another double chirp. Ah, there it goes. It works. How reliable is that? And now I have Thursday flashing. So I guess if I press start or to stop, yes, I have Thursday, Friday and Saturday, whatever that means. So that's the first lap time, and by pressing reset, let's see if I can get the second lap time. There it is, and then pressing again will reset it. Yes, that is done. So that's a little bit not the easiest. There we go. So it is working. Okay, right. So that is the stopwatch. I think it goes up to 24 hours, whether the battery can last that long. Anyway, let's go to the mode again. And when I press this, it goes back to home time. So once you've fiddled around with a mode, it always goes back. So there's the first mode of stopwatch. And now we have the alarm. Nice and easy. You press start here to adjust, which makes lots of sense, and then reset will actually move it to the minutes like so. And the icon for the alarm or for the signal has come on automatically. And I guess when you press the mode, it goes back to the home time like so. There is the little icon there. So if I went to go back into that side from the home screen, pressing the start button, I've now turned it off. So when I go in, and as soon as I adjust something, it turns on the alarm icon like that. Anyway, so let's press that, and we're back out. Right, so what do we have? We have the stopwatch for mode, we have the alarm. Now we have the adjustment side where with the flashing seconds, and this is basically the same as on the Avia, and this is quite confusing because I keep thinking start is your select, but it's not, it's the reset. So it's basically the other way around. You've sort of got this watch upside down. So pressing reset, it shifts the minutes, of course. Logic, isn't it? Then we have the date, then you have the month, and then you have the day of the week. There it is, flashing away on Wee Day. And then by pressing reset, it's back to the flashing seconds. And then pressing mode, it's back to home time. Now, this is on AM and PM. How can I get it onto 24? So this is how I found out. So I go through all the modes back to this mark. Now, is it reset or is it... Right, I think it's reset. So if I select the hours... Now, it missed the hours. Let's go back again. I'm showing this how it works. Look. Oh, come on. One. Yes, there it goes. Right, so it's come up with the P. And it's got PM and it's got the flashing 5. Now, if I advance this, it's going to do something very, very different. There it goes. It goes to H, which means 24 hours. Yes, so now I have 24 hours, so I can now set this. And it goes all the way through, and then when it gets to the end, it goes back to AM. And if you hold it down, it will advance. See, P, and then it goes to H. Isn't that cool? I thought that was kind of cool. That's about the only thing I actually found very, very cool on this watch. And anyway, that's the only reason why I chose this watch, is because of that logo there. Apart from that, I don't think it looks like anything but horrible. So just looking in the instructions, I just want to make sure, because that didn't sort of seem right. So hourly chime, there it is. You can enable it by pressing those two buttons down. And then here, look, all of the day marks appear when the chime is enabled in normal time display. Anyway, so I did get it right. That is very odd, isn't it? If you press that and you have all the days of the week, I would just think that was better for the alarm, as opposed to having... Sorry, this is all a bit like moving quite a lot. It's because of the deep display. And then you have the bell icon. Anyway, if you press down and hold it down, you get the alarm tone. It's not as loud as the Avia, but hey, it's got an alarm. So in the box you go, because I'm not really interested in you. In fact, I actually need to take it back out of the box, because I dread to think the alarm's going to go off. Anyway, thanks. And your huge instructions. Goodbye. And again, another huge thanks to David Snell. And as his citizen is in South Africa, my sticky pointer isn't long enough to review it. So we'll add more of his filming after this. I hope this was entertaining, if anything, and something that hasn't been filmed before. That's the times from the mysterious side, and that's the times from the real G's. As always, thanks for watching.